G'day YouTube. One of my subscribers, Trelawny, he suggested that I use a BBQ mat. Well, I completely missed that idea, but thank you to Mr Trelawny. Anyway, I went down to our local cheap shop. I got this one, hot plate liner. Okay, it's good for the barbecue and you can bake with it. It's really good if you using hot things, especially on the barbecue. So anyhow, I've had a few of these mats before. They're quite good. Well, not that brand. I'm not necessarily talking about brand Pacific, but the mats are a pretty good idea. Anyway, so with our, depending on what mould you have, especially one like this, what we need is we need a bottom bit. What we do is we cut a bottom out. Then if you want to do the sides like this, basically you just need to cut a strip from here to the end. Just measure the circumference, measure it out, then just cut a strip, then just put it in and away you go. Anyway, we're going to do that. Give it a try. First of all, we want to do our circle. Hold it down, all we do is cut around it. Maybe a sharp knife would help. Sharp enough. Anyway, we'll cut the circle out, but it's not our final circle shape because it's a bit bigger. Let's have a look. Will that work? If I put that in there, I'll put that in there. Close it up. Yeah, no, that's a bit big. I have to cut that down. Yeah, a bit too big. What we need to do is we need to just make it a bit smaller. A pair of scissors would actually go handy right now. Might go find a pair. Found a pair of scissors. All we do is we just cut a bit more off. If we had a circle cutting attachment, that would probably be much better. And this won't be exactly perfect, but good enough for our purposes. Just finish off cutting it in the mould here. cuts really well, surprisingly. Right, here's one black silicon mat. You can't see it quite good, but that's covered the bottom. Actually, I'll take it off. There we go. There's a couple of probably little gaps along there, but that's alright. As you can hear in the background, my daughter's playing, having lots of fun in the bath. Anyway, what we need to do now is we need to cut a strip from here. Put it in so you can see. Basically what we need to do is we need to cut a strip, one that runs all the way around so what we'll do is we'll just measure it up here, then we'll just cut probably the whole entire length of this. Yeah, I'll go find a ruler and we'll continue. What we do now is we just measure our height, our ramekin, not our ramekin, our mould. It's about 50 millimeters. So 50 millimeters will do. What we do is we mark our mat accordingly. I just use the end of the ruler. Sorry, you can't see that. What can you see? Okay, let's go first cut. All we do is we just measure in 50 millimeters from here into here. Make our first cut. That cut's alright. Then we come down and we do the end bit. Do the same here. Alright. Depending on how long your rule is, depends on how well you'll do it. My rule is not long enough. Alright, so I'll have to make a few more cuts. Alright, so that's cut there. What we do is we join this one to here, the one that we've already pre-cut, and then we go from here up to the top. If you had a long ruler, that would be much easier. What we need to do is find our bit here. Hard to see, lighting's not the best. Alright, we've got our cut there. And just finish off our cut up here. Doesn't have to be exact. Alright. Now we've got our side, we can just put it into the mould. It doesn't matter if it's a bit longer. Well, I don't think at the moment anyway. Alright. So there we go. A little dark, you can't see that. I'm on Handycam now. Anyway, here we go. Got our mould already lined. And now what we need to do is we need to fill it with something. What are we going to fill it with? We're going to fill it with milk bottle material. If we remember back to the days of the when I did the cookie man, okay, going to use the same plastic as that. Here in Australia, in Brisbane on the south side, there's a company called Reverse Garbage. Basically, I got tons and tons of these little lids. Anyway, I've basically filled the mould completely up to the brim. We'll put it in the oven at 180 degrees and I'll show you the results. I've just taken it out of the oven. Okay, we're going to have to do another round of lids. It's definitely shrunk down, or melted down in size. Put some more lids in. And a shot. Then we put it back in the oven. We'll probably have to do another round after this one too. Okay, now we need to put some more of these lids in there. It's done the first round, and we've done the second round, and this is the third round now. What we want to do is we want to fill it up to the top. What I mean is that we'll keep going round after round until we fill the top of the mould. Then it'll give us a good indication of how it will release from the mould. Using this Teflon coated hot plate plastic. Okay, it's the third round again, or is it the fourth round? Alright, put some more in here, more lids in. We're making a cookie cake. Just like the cookie man, we're making a cookie cake to go with the cookie man. Anyway, back in the oven, and we're still at 180. I filled the mould up as much as that I want to. Now all I need to do is I'll put it back in the oven and I'll let the air bubbles rise to the top. You can see there's a lot of air bubbles around. So I'll put it in the oven and cook it for probably another hour and a half. Then ideally all the air bubbles should, most of them, will rise to the top. Oh, you can see it slipping in there. Liquidy. See that? Slides down one side and slides down the other. That's quite good. Oh no, put it back in the oven, put it in for the other hour and a half, and we'll see how it works. bit stuck right here. Let's see if that comes off. Alright, see how it goes. G'day, it's day 2 of the using the baking plastic. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the mould out and see how it went. Okay, so that comes out quite easy. Just at the bottom of the mould here, there's a couple of bits of plastic leaked out the bottom, but I suppose that's to be expected because we don't necessarily have a full seal. Alright, anyway. Okay, and we'll see how, if it peels off. Need to start. Wow, look at that. That comes off alright. Alright, and we'll just... What I have noticed, as you can probably see, is that around the outside here, it's crinkled. So what's happened is when it's gotten cooler, it shrinks, like all plastic shrinks. So as it shrunk in, it's pulled this baking plastic with it. Alright, so the way you'd normally fix that problem is when you actually when you press the mould, you'll press the mould and in your with the, not a bit of plastic but a bit of metal, and push it down, and that'll fill the whole, they'll fill the mould to the outside edges. Then you won't get that shrinking effect. The plastic will shrink, yes, but it won't shrink and pull it in like that. The reason why it went like that is because we only just used these little lids, these lids here, and these lids, they just, when you melt, it just flows throughout the mould. Okay, so we'll take this off now. Just peels off. Nice and easy. And we can use that again. As you can see, has left a bit of the imprint, but that's alright, it's not a problem. Anyway, so basically what we could do is we just put in the lathe and we can turn as a block. It's come up quite well actually, better than what I expected. Well, a little bit of cleanup, then we can just chuck it straight in the lathe, then away you go. See here we got a bit of baconing effect. So obviously the plastic was, the temperature was a bit too high. So it comes to stand that different plastic has a different melting temperature and a different top melting temperature. Well, now this one was cooked at 180 degrees, and we get that baconing effect. That baconing effect was also prevalent on the foot. Right now, There we go. Thumbs up. See ya.